everyone. Today I have a really good friend of mine, Vijay Reddy, with me. Vijay is based out of Hyderabad, India, and have a long experience of more than 15 years in IT industry. Currently, he is working as an agile coach. So thank you very much, Vijay, for taking out time.
Hey, thank you, Abhishek.
My first question is, what is an agile coach?
Yeah, I would say Agile Coach is an ambassador. Agile Coach is an ambassador for all the Agile values. He is someone who can guide teams, organizations, and leaders about what Agile can do for the organization. And I would also say that it's based on human values, and that's why it is gaining popularity. So, an Agile Coach is someone who lives Agile values, who builds an organization with an intent to grow. I would say Agile promotes organic growth, and you can say Agile Coach is a gardener who helps organization to grow.
Thank you very much for putting it so aptly. And as you rightly mentioned, Agile Coach is an ambassador and not just a propagator of the idea or the principle. So he should not be just a preacher of the idea, but also who imbibes those ideas and values. So my second question to you is, why does an organization look for an Agile coach?
Yeah. So first, what is the problem statement? So there has to be a need for an Agile coach, and what is the pressing need? So a different organization needs Agile coaches for different purpose. I would say one common reason why an organization should search for an Agile coach is to build a learning or a capable organization. So what it means is that Agile coach can offer different kind of services to an organization. Means Agile coach can help teams to start with Agile. Agile coach can help the Scrum Masters to make sure that they build a competency, they participate in community of practices. So what Agile coach can do for an organization is build a culture which the company can grow. So Agile coach is, as we mentioned, is somebody who can really help the organization to take the very first, or you can say next steps on their Agile journey.
Okay, thank you very much. So as I understood, if an organization want to build, for an instance, a building called Agile coach will help in foundation, Agile coach will help in laying down the walls and the roofs, also help in designing the rooms and the artifacts, the colors, the various textures, floorings, making sure the measurements is right. But my next question is, once everything is in shape and people start living it and the organization has an agile culture, do I really need an agile coach?
I must say agile coaches are transient roles. The reason being, when we can say that the company is self-sustained on a self-sustained track. Sometimes we also call it self-organization in Scrum teams and also most of the Agile teams. So, like in every practice where we learn, whether you call it Shuhari, the point where the teams starts experimenting, the point where teams are no more afraid to try new things, the point where they are not ready to compromise on their value system, which they have built over a period of time while practicing Agile. So I would say that's the moment where Agile coach can start taking a step back. Our organization would say that now our team is in experimenting mode. And here is the point where we say that we'll need less of capacity of an Agile coach. But I'm a philosophy that everybody needs a coach. So once team is on track of experimenting, they can find in what area they want to experiment, and they can find that particular skill and they can look for coach in that area. So in nutshell, when the team is in experimentation mode and when they are 100% sure that their value system will not collapse or they will not regress back on what they have built upon. That's the time when organization can think that, okay, at this point in time, we don't need full-time agile coach.
Thank you very much for this answer. Moving forward, I just wanted to know how a typical day for an agile coach looks like.
Okay. Yes. So to start with, I would say it's about two kinds of coaching which an agile coach does. I would like to reiterate on that point. One is active coaching. When you do active coaching, you are constantly connected with the teams you're working with. Means you're attending their scrum ceremonies. You constantly try to find out what are the anti-patterns associated with that teams, whether in the day-to-day working, in the scrum events. So you attend the scrum events, and that's what I do. So attend scrum events for the teams which I'm actively coaching. I try to observe the anti-patterns. I try to listen the feedbacks from the team in my interactions, whether they are formal or informal. So, and then, look for coaching moments. It's not that, you can just go and say that, okay, now teams, these are the area you want to improve on. So you also need to pick those coaching moments where it would make most of the impact. So that's half part of the story. When you say active coaching, so most of your time goes in shadowing the teams, I would say. The second part is passive coaching, which means you are still connected with the teams which are already taken some steps on their agile journey, and they look for some specific challenges. Like for an example, some team would say that we want to improve the transparency aspect. We are doing good with respect to our commitments, but then somewhere we still feel that the transparency is not that great. So our work is not visible to the organization. So I work on those specific challenges. Some teams have tooling challenges. They come up and say that, can you assess how which tool would suit more towards our needs? So it's about what you call as, with respect to active coaching, working closely with teams, and passive coaching means going on need basis. And the third angle which I would like to stress upon is agile coach also as a trainer. Means you also try to build those capability by training people, training teams, training leadership, and also delivering certification classes if you are a certified professional from either SAFe or you call it Scrum Alliance. So that's where I spend my time: active coaching, passive coaching, working as a trainer, and being around with teams.
Okay, thank you very much. So just to summarize, you said there are three major components. First is the active coaching, which teams which are starting the journey needs. And it's like when a baby start to crawl, the parents need to hold the finger at every given point in time, and that's where a lot of time might be given even by the agile coach. The second is the passive coaching, which goes on once the baby has grown up, started going in school, then probably only a small overlook might be needed. And third is, of course, the training part, which deals with certifications, building competencies, or some knowledge articles around. Great. So moving on, I would like to also understand what is the logical transition journey in terms of career growth for an agile coach. So one thing that I understand clearly is, from a Scrum Master, the next role is agile coach. But what's beyond agile coach?
Yeah. So if you say that when you start this first transition, as you mentioned, from Scrum Master to agile coach, now there are some titles which are there in the industry. I would say team coach, and some are program coach, and there are also, you will call as enterprise coach. But I would say when an agile coach grows, it's all about scale. It's all about the impact an agile coach can make towards the industry. So what is the first, I would say, step in terms of career growth for agile coach? You can call that the number of teams an agile coach would be working with. So if he starts with, say, at any given point in time, say 3 or 4 teams, actively, as I mentioned, that first in your start of the work, you would be only confident to work with few set of teams. But as your expertise grows, uh, then you would like to work at a scale. So we call it, the next step would be an enterprise agile coach, where you would be working with large programs, you would be working with leadership teams in order to make sure that they get the desired business outcomes from agile perspective, because it's also about return on investment, and any agile transformation is also about an investment there and how much results it's giving back to the business. So when you work, so first logical step, you become an enterprise agile coach. What next? I would say a different trajectory here is that an agile coach can also, if he's passionate about technology, agile coach can explore what you call as DevOps, so and engineering practices. So an agile coach who is very much in love with technology can pick those what you call as automation or DevOps specific roles, and then work in that capacity to build the organization in that zone. Third angle is which an agile coach can also take is full-time trainer. So if training is somebody's passion, they can take full-time training opportunities, and then they start training people around the world. And you can say and if they are not want to be associated with any particular organization, they can also become freelancer, as the leading agile professionals do. They go on to various events, they share their knowledge across the forums, they work with organizations, and then they contribute for the larger benefit of society. So last step is freelancer, I can say. Yeah. So if I have to summarize, then it starts with team coach to program coach, and if you are even working at a large transformation program, then enterprise agile coach, and it ends with a freelancer, or you call as a consultant.
Thank you very much. So as I understood correctly, and again, if I want to draw an analogy from sports, you can start with training a state team, and then you can move on training the national teams, and then go to the international level, and that's where your periphery will grow and become really large, and you can make bigger and bigger impact. So in case of sports, you make impact, say, to your nation, and in case of agile journey, you will make an impact to the entire organization. Should one start their journey as an agile coach?
Yeah. So first, I would say the first stepping stone is becoming a Scrum Master, I would say. Or if you are not practicing Scrum, then you can call it Flow Master, or if you're a Kanban practitioner, you call yourself a Flow Master. Or so you should be very good at practicing one agile methodology or area, I would say. So it starts from that. Become good at one thing, one agile practice, whether it is Scrum or Kanban, and practice it for a few years. As we say that when you become an agile coach, there are also expectations attached with that. Teams would look towards you to help them with a lot of their things, and not only teams but also leadership. So in order to gain that confidence, you need to be able to practice agile for a few years to start with. So first thing is become either a Scrum Master, or you become a Kanban professional who's really good at the agile skills. The next thing which you should be able to do is a very good reader. You should be able to read, or you say you should read a lot to understand different perspective, different domains, how they're solving their problems while they use agile. A few years, and also about picking up those challenges, willing to act on scale. So it's all about an upskilling journey, whether you are an agile coach or trainer. As I mentioned, it's all about, and when I say reading, certification is also an extension, because you're curious, you want to earn more skills there. So if one has to become a Scrum Master, they should start practicing agile in some or other capacity for at least few years, and then you pick your first agile assignment as a team coach. You work with few teams to start with. Then you understand what it takes to make an impact at an agile transformation angle, I would say, working at scale. Then you also understand the scaling aspect, whether it is less, whether it is safe, You understand how Agile works at scale. You also harness those skills. In parallel, you keep upskilling yourself on the certification track, so you become a trainer as well. So you should be able to solve many problems depending on the context teams are working with. So these are 3 steps which someone can take. One, start practicing Agile at least few years before you pick your first Agile coaching assignment. In parallel, upskill yourself. And I would only say that read, interact. That's this key skill.
Yeah. So thank you very much for this answer. And one thing that I deeply recognize is reading. You mentioned quite a lot. So reading not in terms of reading the books, but reading people as well, understanding what they think, how they react, how they will communicate, what's their real feeling, if they are able to communicate or not. All these need to be understood before we make them understand our principles and philosophy. So thank you very much for these answers. And in this small session, we have covered what is an agile coach, why an enterprise need it. We have also talked about Vijay's journey as an agile coach, what can be the next steps for an agile coach once you become an agile coach, and how to start your journey as an agile coach. So all of these we are able to put together in session. So thank you very much, Vijay, for this, and thank you very much for joining.
Pleasure. Thank you, Abhishek, for having this wonderful conversation. It was my pleasure. Thanks.
Thank you very much. And if you like this video, do like, share, and subscribe. Thank you very much.
Just a second, Abhishek here. I'm not able to hear you. Just a second. Some different line. इसको एडिट कर सकते हैं क्या बीच में? 1 मिनट यार.